Hey, it's Errol Collins. Time to unplug and go totally uncut with the best of the best on today's wildly outrageous and socially networked comedy circuit. He's known as Erik Griffin, but for we fans this side of Comedy Central, the TV show Workaholics, dude, it's Montez.
It's great being a workaholic.
Television producers and actual movie producers are starting to rely on the real writers and the real stars, which is you. How does that make you feel that this turn of events is starting to happen?
Well, I think it's great. It's completely awesome. And, the comedians are finally getting a chance to show what they can do other than on stage. But we have to do our part, too. We have to go to acting class, and you have to be prepared. And, the fact that Hollywood is now understanding that comedians are the ones that can do these things, it's great, because I think after what happened at the Oscars with James Franco and Anne Hathaway, like how horrible they were as a host, I think that they said, oh, you know what, actually we should get comedians for things like this. And I think it's translating over to other areas of entertainment.
Speaking of the Oscars, it seems like a lot of people are turning it down for next year. If the opportunity came to you, would you say, all right?
Somebody would be making a crazy decision, and I would jump all over it.
Would you look at, like Comedy Central being on cable TV and everything, is that the YouTube of television, do you think?
It's not that they break the rules, it's just that when there's comedy involved, people think that it's going to be something crass or something inappropriate. But if you look at cable, FX and Stars and a bunch of other little smaller cable channels, they do some pretty risque stuff right on TV.
Do you ever get to see the research of who's DVRing you?
You know what? I have no idea. You would think they would know that, because I remember when Janet Jackson's boob popped out, they had a stat, the most DVR'd moment. So if they can have a stat like that, then that means they can keep track.
Now in radio, we're always looking for hits and stuff on websites and stuff. As a comedian, do you find yourself having to write for the next viral video or the viral joke or anything like that? Are you forcing yourself to do that?
Well, Twitter is making that, what you have to do. If you like to tweet, you like to tweet out stuff. If something current event happens and you want to get out there, Twitter's the best way to get it out there fast. Now there's Instagram with pictures and Vine with video. So that market is always there, and if you're a person that likes to interact on social media, then you have to be on the forefront of that. And you have to keep up with the Joneses, as they said.
When they said comedy was dying in the clubs, what do you tell somebody on how to become a survivor in your industry?
Well, it is tough, I will say that, and the comedy clubs themselves are to blame. They're putting us out of business because they only want to book stars. But how do you become a star? You have to build a fan base. How do you build a fan base? It's supposed to be in the club. So that is becoming harder for younger comics to come up and actually get work. So I would tell people that, you have to be on the forefront of technology, whatever's going on out there. There are people that have become famous on YouTube and Twitter, and now there's going to be more videos like that. So, you have to get out there, continue to perform, continue to get your message out, and then hopefully it will translate and more people will want to see you live. That's the only thing I can say for now. And still the conventional way still works too, though.
Do you find yourself wanting to go toward radio or to do anything for Saturday Night Live or anything like that? Because, dude, you're on the edge.
When I was a kid, I used to play my mom's Shirley Bassey records, and I would tape them, and in between the songs, I would talk like I was a radio disc jockey. So I always wanted to do radio, and, we'll see what happens. We'll see where the future takes me.
So what would be your fake radio disc jockey voice?
I always be like, this is K. White. WHIT. And then I would be like, I just used to do that all the time. I was just like, this is your son coming at you live from the living room. At that time, like KRP in Cincinnati was on the air, was on TV. And that was like a thing, that was the thing. And every radio station would have some kind of call letter.
Do other comedians do you guys critique each other? Do you have air check sessions? And do they make you sound like, because we call them Randy Radios, when you start grinding your voice?
Well, big comics talk. We're very brutal with each other, too, especially our friends. The closer we are, the more honest we are with each other.
Do you still have those moments where a joke hits you and you make yourself laugh pretty hard?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I still enjoy comedy. Yeah, that's a good question. I do. I still enjoy watching comedy, and I still enjoy, jokes that I make. I have jokes that I really love, even if other people don't love them. It's something that I love, so I laugh myself.
But how do you practice it and put it up on stage? Do you write it down? How do you personally make sure that it becomes a part of your stand?
For me personally, I just do it. I have an idea. I'm on stage for almost an hour. I could take a couple of minutes to work on something.
What is comedy to you?
That's how we deal with tragedies. We make jokes. That's just how we deal with it. We're not necessarily normal people. So, the normal people in society, they feel like, I can't talk about this yet. But that's not how we feel. But laughter is a basic, common response to anything. People laugh at funerals. People laugh at weddings. People laugh because that is just a common response.
People say the damnedest things.
That's what I'm saying. There's comedy all around. It's just we're just like the town crier, relaying the message of what we saw. That's all comedians are, really.
So you don't consider yourself a court jester. I love it. That's classy. Erik Griffin from Comedy Central's Workaholics in Charlotte this week at the Comedy Zone. Grab some tickets. Enjoy the entire night out with Erik Griffin. CLTComedyZone.com. CLTComedyZone.com.